What is up? You know who it is. It is your allies behind enemy lines. Ryan and Joey coming at you thoroughly behind enemy lines in Cowboys territory, coming to you, bringing you the latest and greatest in all the Redskins, Washington football team highlights, news, notes. It's our pregame show, so we're looking forward to Sunday's matchup against the Giants. We took a little bye week this week. I was actually out of town. Washington was on a bye week, so it kind of worked out that way. But we're back at it, nice and rested, nice and relaxed, and ready to jump into this Week 9 matchup. Joey, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. It feels like forever since I've seen you, even though it's only been like we took 1 week off. But as deep as we've been diving into all this Washington football and NFL news, is when you get out of the water, it feels like you've been out for a while. So I'm glad to be diving back in.
Absolutely, jumping right back in head first. So we are, technically last week was the midway point. I guess you can call this week the midway point of the season. And kind of taking a look at the NFC East, and kind of since from the jump, it hasn't been great for any of the four teams involved. It looked like, we got off to a nice start, obviously week 1 against the Eagles. They went through their troubles and tribulations. They've kind of had a favorable schedule where they've been able to take away a couple games, one from the Cowboys, take a couple easy ones. They obviously tied with the Bengals, and that's really helping them quite a bit. But you look around, and it's obviously still up for grabs for literally anyone. Even throw the Giants in there. I know they only have one win, but this NFC East division obviously is the bottom of the barrel. Don't know that any of us deserve that playoff spot or that home game in the round 1 of the playoffs. But hey, I mean, that's just kind of how the that's just kind of how it goes. That's how the chips may fall. Is somebody's got to win this division. Who knows how many games it's going to be? But we're still going to host a playoff game, whoever it may be in this division. Kind of what are your thoughts so far? You're obviously everybody not being great is something that really sticks out, but just as far as the division as a whole.
Oh, I mean, it's I've said it before. In weeks past, I'm sure this is the worst I've seen this division in my entire life. My entire watching this team. There's always been at least one team that was better than average, at least, or average, I should say. I think all these teams are below average right now. So it's interesting to see what the second half of the season is going to bring. You brought up good points throwing the Giants back in there, and the Cowboys, with losing all the people they've lost, and it looks like they're cutting their losses. This thing is wide open right now. And I'm glad you did say the Giants because, I'm going to go out on the limb right there and say the Giants are the team to beat in this division. It sounds weird and it sounds, strange. But, you watch that game on Monday night, and they are a couple plays away in a couple games from having a very good record. As opposed to having, just this tied or this 1-7 now. Yeah. And Daniel Jones is a couple it's a couple of interceptions away, and I think that to me, they're showing growth. If they had Saquon Barkley, obviously a lot of ifs in this division, they'd be a real contender. But I think that's what puts so much importance on this game this week is this is the team we have to beat. I think we've shown what we're probably going to do to the Cowboys again. And what we possibly can do to the Eagles, we have not shown that we can, put the lights out on these Giants. So I think the Eagles, in their game against the Cowboys, which we destroyed those Cowboys. It was like we said on our recap show. If it wasn't for that long punt return, they're not scoring any points. They did nothing against us with anybody, and that Eagles team struggled to stop that Cowboys offense in the beginning of the game, and that defense was shutting down. That makeshift defense. They did get back Gregory, but that doesn't change the dynamic of that defense. So that Eagles team, everyone's waiting. It's like everybody, from what you hear from the talk shows and on the shows I watch and all the analysts, everybody putting their 2 cents in, thinks the Eagles are going to wake up and just run away with it eventually. I beg to differ. I think that, I think the Cowboys are going to be probably battling out for that cellar spot. And I think the Giants are the team to beat.
What's funny is I 100% agree with you about the Giants. I think they're probably the most dangerous team. I think they have the most upside of all 4 teams right now. And I agree. I think if Saquon stays healthy and doesn't tear out his ACL, they're probably leading this division. The only knock I have against them is as good as like Darius Slayton is, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, they don't have like that dynamic receiver for Daniel Jones. And I agree. He has a couple interceptions away, a couple mistakes away. A lot of people are out on Daniel Jones. I still think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to be pretty good, as far as longevity. I think he's going to be around the league for a long time. He's just working through some growing pains. You know what I mean? So I actually 100% agree, and I'm shocked that we're on the same page about that. We didn't even talk about this, before or anything like that. But you're right, and I think the Eagles, even if they are, or even if they did beat the Cowboys, they struggled. Carson Wentz does not look good at all. I think they're big time regressing. I don't think they're getting better. Like I said, they've kind of been fortunate to have a couple cupcakes early and have been able to pull out a couple of these wins. And that's kind of what has put them in that top spot of this division so far. But yeah, I think it's going to be between us and the Giants when it's all said and done, which again is crazy. And now that I'm kind of looking at where teams are falling, I believe before the game Sunday, before all the games, if the season would have ended there, we would have the seventh pick in the draft. So if we're gonna fall, 7 to 10 area, then let's go ahead and try and get a playoff spot. You know what I mean? I know what you're probably thinking. You keep flip flopping every week of what you want to do, Ryan. Yeah, you know what? I do. I 100% do. But, it's kind of week to week because of how bad this division is, how weird this season is as a whole for the entire NFL. Some teams you thought were going to be bad are good, vice versa. Some teams that have a really good record aren't very good or very mediocre. So, there's a lot of factors going in week to week. But, yeah, the quarterback play of this division hasn't been great, hasn't been very good. Outside of Dak went down. Since then, the quarterback play has been pretty poor. There's not anybody that you can really, point a finger to and be like, yeah, that guy, is head and shoulders above the rest of the guys in his division. So, that obviously being a major key position in football, probably the top position in football, tells you kind of everything you need to know about this division as a whole, top to bottom. Is, you're not gonna have good quarterback play. You're not gonna have very good success rates against teams in the NFL. Now, obviously, I think Washington has the best defense in the division, so that's going to carry us a long way. As long as we can execute and kind of take care of business and take care of the ball offensively, that'll put us in a good spot too. But yeah, so far this division has just been, it's the laughing stock. It has been for like the last 5 weeks. It's nothing new. It's not, no news here. But yeah, it's just, I don't, shoot, the Cowboys, looking at their schedule, so they got the Steelers this week. And then I'm trying to think who they play next week. They have a tough opponent next week. I could probably look it up here real quick. But they might go the whole month of November without scoring a touchdown. They play the Vikings. So, if they might be able to move the ball against the Vikings, but obviously they only scored 3 against us, kicked 3 field goals against the Eagles. I will be shocked if they score a touchdown this week against that Steelers defense. That defense is sick. But you talk about a team that was scoring at a record clip, the first 4 weeks of the season, and now can't even get in the end zone. Let's just talk about a complete 180. Obviously, the line is terrible there. The quarterback, they're just trying to find the next best guy, and Pickens are slim right now. So yeah, they could go 4 straight weeks without scoring a damn touchdown.
Especially when you got Garrett Gilbert coming in there.
Yeah.
Next looks like on Sunday, and then backed up by Cooper Rush. And I'm not even confident in that team when they put Andy Dalton back in there. Like I said, I think the whole team is, I think Troy Aikman put an interesting piece out. I think it was yesterday or the day before on a radio show talking about that Zeke is, he's been a really physical back, since he's been drafted into the NFL. One of those, I think his highlight where he took out with Earl Thomas in his rookie year or something like that. And he ran like that, and had great success, led the league in rushing, had great years in the NFL. And Troy Aikman said about this time is when you see those type of backs start to break down. They start going down after that first contact. They can't really, have that energy they had early in the career due to the pounding he took early on in his career. I think Terrell Davis is one of the greatest, examples of that of all time. I think he had a couple of years, and after that he was done. And I think Ezekiel Elliott, if it's, some would say it's the line play. It's, the lack of quarterback play there, but they had Dak Prescott back there, who everyone is knows can hurl it out there, and they had that line together at the beginning of the year, and they still weren't running on first and second down, which is what really establishes teams like that. So I'm not really confident in what the direction the Cowboys. When you see Michael Irvin, who will sit there and praise the Cowboys when they're still 3-10 that they can win the Super Bowl, when you see him giving a eulogy to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if you saw that, but I did. Yeah, when you see it, when Michael Irvin ain't believing, then the Cowboys are in trouble. So if he's so I can put as you said, I don't see them scoring another point. And as far as the Eagles, I see, like you said, Carson Wentz is regressing, and I don't know what's going on with their defense either. And that's why I kind of I should have said that in the earlier point with the Giants and the Washington, the only 2 teams in that division with defense, and that's what I think is gonna it's gonna what's going to be the biggest factor, moving towards the end of the season. So I think, like you said, if we continue to play solid defense and and protect the ball and get decent play, Alex Smith type game management play out of Kyle Allen, I think that we can go ahead and take this division. And like you said, if we're not getting, and to me as well, if we're not getting the first pick, then if you're not first, you're last when it comes to the draft this year. I think. I mean, there's not, you can find some quality, for a lot of different positions. Like all we need is a quarterback. You're gonna find quality a lot of different positions, and that's when we start looking towards free agency, which I think we should still be looking towards right now as far as quarterback is concerned. Because I don't think the Jets aren't gonna lose another game. And I still think they're gonna get Trevor Lawrence. So as far as that question is concerned, we need to try to win this and do the best we can with this team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I'm full on, at least for this week, full on in on trying to make the playoffs and win this division. Back to your point though about Zeke. Yeah, I think watching that game on Sunday, that guy to me looks like a guy that's checked out. He's kind of done. You know what I mean? And when you do have poor quarterback play, what are teams going to do? Going to sack 8-9 guys in the box, and then when you have 5 turnstiles playing offensive line for you, you're not going to be able to get anything going. And yeah, you are going to get frustrated. You are going to start going down after that first hit, whether it's because you're beat up, you're injured, or just because you really just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm getting tackled. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected. Rather than trying to run through a guy, giving yourself a chance to gain a few extra yards. It's kind of like I said, looks like he's checked out. Looks like he's ready to call it a day on the season. Come back next year and see what they got. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
But, real quick though, I thought didn't he get another tattoo across his other one that says "Please don't" on top of
across don't feed me.
Yes, please. Tired of taking those Cole Holcomb type hits. What you said, your turnstile offensive line. So I think he got a little adjustment to that tattoo that says it red over that. Please don't.
So the Eagles are off this week. They got a bye. So if Washington wins, we're right back at the top for a division lead. Obviously, again, that tie is still helping Philadelphia out just a little bit. We face them again at the end of the year, and who knows what that team looks like by then. They don't have a big-time wide receiver. Miles Sanders, even when he is in there, I don't think he's, everything everyone's kind of built him up to be the last couple seasons. So, as long as things keep rolling in the right direction, I know we do have a tough part of our schedule coming up after these next few games. So we got the Giants, and then the Lions and Bengals, Cowboys, but then we finish up with Steelers, 49ers, Seahawks right before the Panthers and Eagles. So there's going to be a big portion of that schedule where we're going to have to show up big time if we plan on winning any game. So I think this game will be pivotal. It'll kind of set up, I think, it'll put somebody in the driver's seat. Let's put it that way. Whether it's us or the Giants, put somebody in the driver's seat to kind of take a stronghold of this division, even though we will still be a game behind the Eagles. Because after their bye week, they come out, they have the Giants. So again, that could possibly be a game for first place, but then after that, the Eagles go Giants, Browns, Seahawks, Packers, Saints. So, that's quite the juggernaut too. Say what you will about the Browns. They're playing at a decent level. The Seahawks, that offense is really, really good. Same with the Packers. The Packers beat up on bad teams. And the Saints, they're obviously the Saints. They're the Saints that you expect every year. So they're going through a gauntlet as well. So again, this is totally up for grabs, and this is going to be a big pivotal game. So kind of transitioning. Is there anything else you had on the as far as the division goes?
No, just like you said, it's going to be the last team standing, and hopefully our season has set us up to kind of gain some confidence and build ourselves up for those games later in the season. Because I can see us easily now. You look at the beginning of the year, and we easily both called that San Francisco game a loss. But now looking at that team, with Nick Mullins and no George Kittle on the field, I think that's a team we can beat. And so
no Raheem Mostert, no Tevin Coleman.
Exactly.
They got a whole bunch of guys coming out that aren't very, that are
exactly. I think they're gonna get, they're gonna get exposed tonight on television, or I should say, they're gonna get exposed.
We're recording on Thursday, everybody. We're recording on Thursday. All right, schedules didn't line up. We're recording on Thursday. There it is.
The truth is out of the bag. We record these shows on Thursday. We put them out on Friday. But anyway, tonight, as I'm saying, you guys will know this by tomorrow, but I think they got exposed. I'm pretty sure they're going to get exposed for, everyone's saying, well, Kyle Shanahan's going to have a plan. I don't think so. I think Aaron Rodgers is mad. Aaron Rodgers is, he got really beat up, these last couple of weeks. And I think that team is going to come out there and really, show what they can do to a team that's already on the ropes. But back to the point at hand, I think that, that Seahawks game is going to be, I think, a true measuring stick of what we're made of later on in the season, of what we can do. A team that has no defense and has a great offense, So we can line up. We can if we can limit something. That Dallas played them tight with an offense. You know what I mean? So if that's a game down that can build some confidence. That if we do end up somehow making it into the playoffs, we're talking about hanging there with probably the best team in the NFC. So I think that's a game to look forward to down the road. That we hopefully can build some confidence up. But it all starts this Sunday.
Yeah, 100%. It absolutely does. So transitioning into that game, kind of talking matchups here. Again, if we can get to Daniel Jones and kind of get some pressure on him, I mean, we saw our defense played great against them. What was that, week 4, week 5, whatever that was? When we lost the 1-point game, when we went for the controversial call to go for 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, week 6 that was just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now. The controversial call to go for 2, and now even that team is a little different. They do have Sterling Shepard back. Darius Slayton again, but that running game, it's your best guess. It's Alfred Morris, shout out, former Redskin. It's a whole Wayne Gallman, Deion Lewis, just like a whole slew of guys that they're just trying to figure out who can do it. So if we can get pressure on Daniel Jones and keep their wide receivers at bay, which our secondary is playing a lot better. Ron Rivera's put a lot of confidence and has really talked up Cameron Curl. That's a big reason why he didn't want to sign Eric Reed to the active roster and wanted to sign him to the practice squad first, because he didn't want Eric Reed kind of hovering over Cameron Curl and kind of getting his head. So he has a lot of trust in him back there at safety. He actually compared him to Kendall Fuller, said he's he can play multiple positions. He's physical, he's athletic, he's kind of checks all the boxes really, which is huge for a guy that we got in the 6th or 7th round out of Arkansas. So, you gotta love that. But yeah, I think, first things first is we gotta put pressure on Daniel Jones, because we've seen when he feels the pressure, he'll literally just throw that ball up like he's playing 500 in the schoolyard. Just, here's a jackpot. Somebody go up and get it. So, I think that's 1,000% where the game's going to be won and lost, is whether we can get pressure at those front 7.
And I'm going to add on to that and say also, is to set those edges, because we don't want Daniel Jones getting outside of the pocket, because that's when, didn't he burn us for an 85-yard run or something last time?
Something like that, yeah. I think it was like a 45 or 50-yard run, yeah.
It was, I don't know, I just remember Daniel Jones outrunning pretty much. Oh, no, the 85-yard one was the one he tripped the following week. Why are you tripping, Daniel? But anyway, I think if we can set those edges as well and force him to play out of the pocket, which is just going to be eaten up by our defensive tackles, that we're going to be in a very good position. So, definitely want to make sure we get pressure, but at the same time, don't as our Ryan Kerrigan is very famous for doing, don't over-rush these plays and let them get under and outside of you, and then, make plays down the field. So if we can get pressure and set those edges, I don't think that Dallas Giants offense stands a chance.
No, I agree. One of those guys that needs to set the edge is the highest-rated defensive rookie, Chase Young. Ooh. Just throwing that out there. Highest defensive-rated rookie. The Predator, Chase Young, the top player in the draft, some people might say, although Joe Burrow's balling out too. He's top 3 in yards passing. But so yeah, I agree. I think that's huge. Making sure that we don't give up the big play, kind of like you said, whether it's with Daniel Jones' legs or his arm. That's kind of the thing that we've been susceptible about. We've talked about numerous times on this show. It's giving up the big play behind us, getting the top blown off. And one guy that's susceptible to doing that is Golden Tate, not necessarily with downfield speed, but just finding an open spot. And, all of a sudden he gets the ball and he can make moves after the catch. I know he's a little older now, 32, 33, but he's definitely susceptible to doing that, where he just kind of runs around in a couple circles and then loses defender and finds the open spot in the zone or whatever it may be. He finds a soft spot and, Daniel Jones will hit him. So yeah, I agree. I don't think the running game is going to be any issue for us. Like I said, with as weak as that group is, we should be able to hold
load
them
the box.
Yeah, might as well, right? And just make them pass on you. But I would like to see Kyle Allen, like I said, maybe game manage, not be so not take unnecessary risks. And hopefully Antonio Gibson can get things going again. Last time we saw him against Dallas, he had a big game. So we'd love to see that again. But with that defense, that Giants defense, it's pretty good. So he's really gonna have to get things going if we're going to need to. But as long as Kyle Allen doesn't make any mistakes like he did game 1, I think we're able to take this victory.
Oh yeah, take away that sack fumble, strip fumble, which is basically him trying to make something happen when he didn't have to.
Yeah.
You take that away, just like you said, and we're winning that game probably easily. I think he does the same thing this week. I think it's funny you bring up Golden Tate. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, you haven't heard a lot from him, and you scored the touchdown on Monday night against the Buccaneers. I was like, and I instantly said he ain't Silva. I thought people were starting to call him Silver Tate because he wasn't gold no more. He turned to silver, but he ain't Silver Tate no more. So you got to definitely make sure you still treat him as Golden Tate and not Silver Tate. And of course, not getting beat over the top by Darius Slayton, who could not find the ball on several throws. I don't know what happened there because they had a pretty solid connection all the way, leading back to last year. I've been calling him Bigger Play Slayton, and he had some wide open throws, and it's like he was losing the ball in the. I don't know what he was doing, but it was pretty strange there. It was strange to watch on Monday night. But anyway, we limit those big plays. We pound that ball, and you did say our top-rated defensive rookie is Chase Young. But on the other side of the ball, we have the top-rated rookie running back. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh yes, and our boy Antonio Gibson is our top, even over Edwards-Helaire, if you can believe that. He is over Edwards-Helaire as the top-rated rookie running back. Look it up. Fact check everybody out there. It's true. So we do have somebody back there. Yes, we do have a diamond in the rough out there. If it wasn't for guys like, I think Tristan Wirfs or other guys that have been really setting the edge, we got some candidates on our hands for Rookie of the Year. But Antonio Gibson I think he gets better each week as far as running the ball. I think it's still a new thing to him. As we all know, he was primarily a wide receiver in college. I don't think he had less than 50 carries. And I think he's just about to reach that mark, probably a little bit more already in the NFL. About 50 carries, probably around 75 now. I don't know how many exactly. But so he's still a baby.
He's actually 84 carries already.
84 carries, so pretty good for him. That's halfway through the season. Good job. Yeah. But if he keeps that up, so as you say, he's just getting into his own. He's getting into his own and feeling his blockers out. Not to mention Morgan Moses, who we don't talk enough about, was having a stellar year. That right side, I think he's on the right, from center over to the right. All those guys are rated in top 10, as far as their positions right now. It's that left side, which I think is getting better. I think has been played better the last couple weeks. So if we can get this line and just run, going at all, we're going to be in a great place for have Antonio Gibson just, pound the ball, have Kyle Allen make, simple throws there and just not make mistakes. So has to be our recipe for this game and moving forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree. And one guy that obviously, whenever he has success, our team has success. You can call him Scary Terry. You can call him Touchdown Terry. But make sure you also call him Captain Terry. Ooh. Terry McLaurin, named captain of the team now that Landon Collins is out for the year with the blown Achilles. Shout out to him. Hopefully he has a good recovery.
The best thing Dwayne Haskins ever did for us was bring us Scary Terry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, shoot, maybe see if he can bring us a couple draft picks too when we trade him away. That might be good.
So far, so far,
the best thing was that it's to be continued on what else Dwayne Haskins keeps bringing to this franchise. It definitely wasn't any success, but see what assets he can bring us. But yeah, no, that was one little note that I wanted to throw in there is after Landon Collins went down, the team needed another captain, and from what Ron Rivera said was it was kind of unanimous that it wasn't even a question that Terry McLaurin was going to be named captain of the team or one of the captains. It was funny. He said, I believe it was Morgan Moses and I believe maybe Ryan Kerrigan came up to him before practice and was like, hey, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Great job. You deserved it. But it wasn't announced until after practice, so he had no idea what the hell they were talking about. He was like, "Congratulations for what? Like, what are y'all talking about?" And so, kind of a little funny story there of Terry McLaurin finding out a little prematurely that he was named captain, but he still didn't even know that happened. But so shout out to him. Hopefully he has a big game. Like I said, when he finds success, we have success. So let's hope to keep that running and vault ourselves fully back in this race of, we're never really going to shoot. The Giants could lose this week and still be right in the thick of things, with the way the things are going for the Cowboys and the Eagles with as bad as Carson Wentz is playing. So looking ahead or looking at that game, right now, as it stands right now, as we're recording, the Redskins or the Washington football team is favored by 2.5 points. So just less than a field goal. The total is 43. I'm going to go ahead and I'll lay the 2.5. I think they're going to win by at least a field goal, hopefully more. And I think this is another underplay, like a 2017 game, 2014, something like that, 23-13, something like that.
No. Yep, I agree there. It's good defenses, not powerful offenses. That definitely equals. Let's keep this below. Unless we have a lot of turnovers, I guess, and defenses that score a lot of points. You never know. That would be an anomaly. That's what you call an anomaly or a outlier to the norm.
Thanks for the vocab lesson.
Also, before I forget, and I don't have any other vocab words too, just to say, but Steven Sims was practicing well.
Yeah,
so
he's back. Yep,
he's back this week, and I think he's primed and ready. I'm excited. I'm glad. It sucks that he was gone, but I'm excited that other guys got to come out. We saw Cam Sims, Sims brothers, and then we got what's his name, Isaiah Wright as well. They got some playing time, so I think we have you put all those four pieces together, and there are people that one of them left one-on-one. I'm pretty happy about at any time there. So now you're going to talk about leaving two of them one-on-one. You get a couple guys on the field. So I'm excited that although he was going to give other guys a chance to kind of step up and see what they can do, and so I think we got ourselves not the best wide receiving core, but a solid wide receiving core right now. Not to mention throw Dontrell Inman in the mix as well, and then you got five.
For sure, yeah. I wouldn't say I'd still put obviously the Cowboys receiving core above ours, but yeah, that's still good. I don't know if Steven Sims is going to be back. If he's going to be back playing, but I know he is back practicing, like you said. I don't know if he's going to be actually active this week. I'll have to double check that. Yeah, it doesn't say right now what I'm seeing here. So, if he is back on the field, love to have him. If it's still,
I'm calling it. He's going to be out there. I'm making a bold statement. You can hate me if you want me. He'll kill me in the comments. I'll take it. But he's been a play this week, and he's going to have a big game.
All right. I hate it, or I don't hate it at all. You did have a hot take this weekend while we were texting. Do you want to tell people what your hot take was? Do you remember?
Sam Darnold one?
Nope.
Which one was it?
Terry McLaurin, possibly.
Oh, possibly the best wide receiver in Washington history.
Definitely the best wide receiver in Washington football history. Now going back to the
Redskins. Obviously, you think longevity, your mind's going to go to Art Monk. You think
that's my first thought.
You go to recency, you're going to say Santana Moss. And you go to leadership. You have Pierre Garçon. Then you have a big drop off there. Any of the posse members. The posse was so glorious because we won championships so close together, but that was not together very long. It wasn't a very long thing. It was very a snapshot in time. Ricky Sanders had a great, Ricky Smith, I think somebody called him the other day. I was like, you just morphed two guys that had one great game together, Ricky Sanders and Timmy Smith. But shout out to you if you're watching this, because you said you subscribed to the channel after we had talked on my stream. I forget what your name was. We'll remember. Lombardi something. I remember Lombardi. Been a fan since the Lombardi era, believe it or not, when Lombardi was a Washington coach. So
yeah,
shout out to you if you're watching. But anyway, I think that Terry McLaurin, he has all. Not to mention that his explosiveness that he has of like Santana Moss, I should say, but the hands of Art Monk, that's what was so great about Art Monk was the consistency he brought week in and week out. And I think at the time, I think we talked about this on an earlier show. I remember at the time he had the record for consecutive games at the reception. I think it's since been broken. But that just shows you the kind of person that Art Monk was and the leader he was within that team. I think Terry McLaurin possesses all those same qualities with a dash of explosiveness. So you put those together and you get some longevity under his belt. Already this early in his year, some of that's came in our draft. Not a first rounder. I think that this guy has the makings of being an elite, of being the elite Washington football receiver of this franchise's history.
Like I said, I don't hate that hot take either. I think he definitely has the potential to do so. So only time will tell on if that is the case or not. But that'll do it for us here on this preview show of Week 9 against the Giants. Again, big time game. Not often do you get a 1-17 versus a 2-5 team, and you're saying it's going to be a big time game, and it's going to have playoff what is it, playoff
implications.
Thank you.
I didn't tell you. I guess I had to do one more vocabulary word.
I was going to say because I wanted to say playoff stipulations, and I was like, that's definitely not the word, and so I didn't want to say it, but it's implications. There we go. So shout out one more time for that vocab lesson there. I appreciate it. I needed it on that one. But as always, if you're listening to us on Apple, continue to subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, tell family. And if you're on YouTube and you haven't done so yet, like Lombardi, ring that notification bell. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. Sound off in the comments. What do you think about that hot take that Joe gave? That Terry McLaurin's going to be the best wide receiver that Washington has ever seen suit up for him.
Guy Lombardi. Guy Lombardi was his name. I just remember. There you go. There we go.
Shout out. What a guy. Yeah. Hopefully we come out with a victory, vault ourselves right back into the playoff push, and maybe mess around and make the playoffs here one time. Joe, you got anything else for the people before we leave?
Just that, you guys, let's do it this weekend so that Monday, we know how it goes. Our coffee can taste a little bit sweeter. No sugar. The birds will be singing those melodic tunes. The fresh smell of the air, and not to mention also the sound of the
the trombone, the victory trombone, baby. Gotta have it.
We gotta have the victory trombone. That's all I got, buddy.
All right. As always, we're holding it down for you right now behind enemy lines. You guys, hopefully you're doing the same if you're not out there in Washington, keeping us loud and proud, even though things might not be going the way we thought. Still looking up. So until Monday, hopefully we're celebrating a victory Monday. Y'all take care. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then.